Hey! Hey! Are you looking to buy or sell real estate? Listen, you've got questions and we've got some answers. Welcome to the show. It's going to be great. Now, featuring Matt and Jed from Home Team for You. I messed up my cadence so bad. It's Matt and Jed, all right?
Hey, Jacob.
Let's go.
All right.
Can you start over? I'm really sure I'm supposed to be.
We're having all kinds of fun with microphones today. Stop. That's enough. Somebody cut him off.
Without further ado.
Yeah, without further ado, we'll introduce our guests in studio. So Mr. Bill Grinde is with us again.
Hello. Did you miss me?
Yeah, he was just with us not too long ago.
Right.
What's going on, Bill?
Nothing. Trying to keep my head above water so far here in
It's
the
raining out.
first couple weeks of February. It's been busy. So
It's busy, yeah. And then Diane Weaver is with us.
Hello.
Hello. How goes it, Diane?
Really good. Yeah.
Good? Seeing all good things?
Seeing
Busy,
good
busy?
things, trying to sell some houses.
Her plows is louder than yours.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's okay. I'm used to that.
Mhm. All right. Well, we have some fun stuff to kind of dig in and unpack. I think the biggest topic right now is what's going on with those interest rates.
They're going up.
They're going up.
Yeah. Tell me more. What are you seeing, hearing from lenders, from your clients?
So the lenders are telling us they are going up. I think right now it's 4%, but they also said it's not time to panic. I mean, I think a $300,000 house at 3.5% versus a $300,000 house at 4%. I think the difference per month was about $68.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, yes, the interest rates are going up, but you're not being able to unafford homes yet.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Right.
How are you seeing the rates changing with like your clients? Are they reacting to that, or is it just sort of like background noise at this point, Diane?
I've noticed that they're getting nervous. They're getting a little more nervous. So the more we can tell them what Bill just said about how it's not going to change it that much now, and how right now in the spring would be a good time to really look for a home because they may go up later in the year.
Mm-hmm.
And you get more for your money while they're this rate rather than later.
Yeah, because the Fed said that it was going to raise rates 3 times this year.
Right.
So that tells us,
One's done.
yes, sooner than later.
Right.
So let's.
Well, they said they were going to wait till March, and they did it, end of January? So
yeah, well,
don't know.
sometimes things
maybe they go
happen.
for more,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to look at what's happening in the overall picture, and it's kind of like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you got to do things.
There's a lot of stuff that could change it too. It could be inflation. Come
Yeah.
back down.
I think the inflation numbers were like, oh, so they were like, okay, we got to, because when somebody puts pressure,
Yeah. Or if there's a world
event.
then
versus
it could
Ukraine.
bring
Yeah.
them down.
Yeah, all of
The
the
Olympics.
things.
Mm-hmm.
Putin.
Oh, yeah, all of the things. I was looking at the news and it was doing the top list, and it was like Afghanistan and Putin and like all these different things. And I was trying to get down to the like fun thing. Like,
Who won the puppy bowl?
I know. I don't know if it was
Oh,
something
was that
about
on
the
this year?
Super Bowl or something, but I was like, okay, that's not fun. That's not fun. That's not fun.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, but this is better.
Were there any good commercials on the Super Bowl this year?
Oh, yeah. There
No.
were some good ones.
Which ones did you like? Remember any?
I don't remember what they were about. I just like the ones with the actors and actresses that you know, or, you know, the previous football players.
There's one with a sloth and the hot
Oh, yeah.
Doritos.
Oh, I saw that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
Matt's
good.
family
One of the
really
few.
liked that one. Hmm. Yeah, there was a lot of cheering for that. How about the halftime show?
I watched that.
Yes.
I
That
liked
was
it.
better in the game.
That was right in
It
my
was
sweet
so
spot
good.
of
Yeah.
performers. So I was rocking out
Yeah.
Bunch of
Yeah.
old people.
for sure.
I know.
Yeah, a lot of great dancing, though. I love all those dancers. And
I saw a meme that if you're over the age of 50, it was the worst halftime show ever. If you were under the age of 30, it was who are those people? And then 30 to 50 were just like, just absolutely in the moment. Because I was.
Yeah, it was pretty much that. We were all not totally jumping around, but we
Mhm.
definitely had some movement happening.
and the stage was cool.
Heck yeah.
Mhm.
That was
I know
different.
for realtors, we were like, oh,
I know.
houses.
Did you see the meme?
Huh?
Yep.
You saw the meme
Yeah,
with
I
this
saw that.
No.
for sale sign that's sold above it.
All the realtors are like,
facing.
I got
Yeah.
this. We can sell this.
I'm LA real estate.
Yeah, yeah.
mobile.
For real.
I did see a Rocket Mortgage commercial.
Yes.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, I read somewhere that they paid $1 bajillion for,
I think they all do for those commercials.
for just a short one. Did you guys see the one that was the QR code?
Yes, I think that's the best one.
For
And it
Bitcoin?
was-
It's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
great.
And
It's so annoying.
we were your sister. I was like, I'm like, use your phone. I'm like, see what it is. And she's like, I think it's like cryptocurrency. We're like,
Up to $7 million for 30-second spot.
But I bet you that QR code commercial has
Oh,
more impact
absolutely.
than any other
Because
commercial.
nobody knew what
Can
it
you
was.
imagine
Yeah.
the like drop off? Like people were like, oh, and then dropped off,
Yeah.
but their
Bounce
website
rate.
probably went, woo.
Oh, their website actually crashed.
Oh, I bet it did.
Yeah.
The other one was that sports material there, that one with silver ion stuff. Did you see that? It was with Braden Allen. Ventures.
I heard about it, but
Their
I did not see
website
it.
crashed too.
It's so good you don't get any benefit because your websites crash.
HomeTeamForYou.com was working flawlessly.
I know it was. It was like, man, we just need to get like 50 cents upside down doing a home
50
team.
50 cents.
50 cent.
50 cent.
Nah.
50.
50. I'm
Nice.
sorry.
Half buck.
Yeah. We have to get him upside down
Two quarters.
doing a little
Yeah.
something,
What?
something. Yeah. Yeah, I heard a lot of fun things about that. Apparently,
50 cents.
Love it.
hey, you know what? I haven't been cool for a long time. I haven't been cool.
That's funny.
Yeah, well, I know you're very gangster, Matt. I forgot.
Who else was on stage?
Snoopy Dog.
Yeah.
Or Stray.
Mr.
Yeah.
Dre.
Well, our hardest thing was we didn't know what was his name? Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, I don't know him.
We had to Google that, but we also did the, hey Siri, how old is Mary J. Blige? Hey Siri, how old is Eminem? Because we're like, wow,
Eminem was 49.
49, and Mary
Oh,
J.
is he
Really?
really?
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige was
Ooh.
51,
Surprised.
but I guess she was 56. Sorry, Mary.
Mm.
We were all just trying to guess. Here we are, like, go girl.
I know. She looked good.
She looked good in those boots. Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Funny.
50 Cent didn't even pass out.
No, he didn't. And the fun, just from seeing all the memes, I forgot that his video had him hanging upside down, but he was smaller and he didn't have a shirt on in the,
Yep.
yeah. And
He got some dad weight or something. I don't know.
50 Cent weight.
He gave 50.
he gave it.
Yep.
Yeah. His arms are still humongous. So
I mean, you can't expect him to look the exact same
No.
as 1999 or whatever.
Snoop does.
We can't. Yeah, Snoop pretty much does. I think he's
Dre's
just sort of
pretty close.
petrified.
Eminem.
Yeah,
Eminem
he's-
looks
yeah.
the same. He
he's
Well,
looks
much
better.
better.
Eminem,
Yeah.
everybody said at our party that he looked better
Yeah, he does.
because he looks real instead of the bleached hair and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Somebody told me that they thought Dre looked much older, but
did.
he's went through a divorce, so life's
What
rough.
causes that?
He's a billionaire. He's fine.
Well, his ex-wife got a whole lot of that.
I think he paid to be on the Super Bowl.
He did not.
Yeah, like the
What?
production, like I don't know if they bid on it or what, but they had he paid something to be.
I mean, it was definitely the Dr. Dre show.
Yeah.
Like all of them were about Dr. Dre, which was kind of cool.
It was cool.
If he paid to be on the halftime show, it's brilliant.
Right?
I mean, that just helps his brand so much.
Takes us some fortitude to ask to be on the Super Bowl.
So it says the performance was reported to have a budget of $13 million. Dre himself said to have thrown in $7 million of his own money,
Wow.
Oh,
That's
Wow.
probably why it
driving
was
it up
so
to $20
awesome.
million.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
like,
That's awesome.
that's nothing to him though.
Well, it's for the budget anyway. It's half the.
It's all the
half the total
houses.
cost. That's right. He paid for the houses
Yeah, he paid
Snoop
for
Dogg's
and
medicine.
the cars.
Yeah, Snoopy Snoop. Yeah. All right. That's what we call him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Snoopy.
Snoopy. Yeah. But being real, on the way home from the Super Bowl party, we decided to play some of the songs in our car.
Mm-hmm.
and we accidentally were playing the explicit versions,
Okay.
and our children were like, "What is this?" And we're just
Never heard
laughed.
those words, Mom.
We're like, "Oh, these are the real versions, not the edited for TV versions." Ugh. Oh boy. All right. What are you guys seeing for buyers? We got a bunch of early bird buyers out. They're all
Yeah.
Too many of them.
oh,
Never
never
too many.
too
Yeah.
many. Watch what you
No.
say. Watch what
Just
you
not
say.
enough homes for them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Ultra competitive, especially on the well-to-do showing houses and price point under 400,000. It's pretty insane. I mean, the one. Anyway, there was like 85 showings at the one house I was looking at. 15 offers in. I mean, it's just.
So you're saying there's a chance.
But the awesome thing
Yeah.
is, have you seen how many offers Home Team for You is getting accepted?
Yeah.
Like this
Yeah.
week we had a boatload. So we're winning. So that's good.
It is.
You guys
What about you,
know how to
Diane?
coach them.
Yeah, I mean, really it comes down
I really
to
have to know.
here's what you need to do. And even if the first time they're not doing that or they don't believe you, it's like, okay, here's what's winning in this market.
Right.
Like we're not trying to trick you. We want you to win.
Well,
a
This
little
is
bit
what
of
it
a
is.
learning process at first.
Well, I need an inspection. No, we really don't. Well, we need 20,000 appraisal coverage. Do we? What is that? Like, here's what it is. Here's everything that we do. This is why we're competitive. This is how we win. These are the things you got to know.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. All the things.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Days on market, Jacob.
Days on market.
Dom.
Dom.
Mm-hmm.
Also director of marketing.
Yeah.
So, days on market, according to the internet, this is the part where you guys pick apart the internet definition or say, oh, yeah, that's right.
That's right.
DOM, days on market, is defined as the number of days from the date on which the property is listed for sale on the local real estate broker's multiple listing service, also known as the MLS, to the date where the seller has signed a contract for the sale of the property with the buyer. A related metric to the average DOM for homes sold in a market during a specified period. A low average DOM indicates a strong market that favors sellers. A high average DOM signals a weak market that favors buyers. Seasonality can also be a factor. Homes generally appear to sell faster in spring than winter, since you often have more people looking to purchase and sell during the more pleasant weather months rather than the colder, more uncomfortable weather months.
Does it say what the number is? Like, did they give an example of what's buyer or seller?
No, that's all they said. That's where they relied on a podcast to fill in the blanks.
So it's correct. Definition is correct. Definition is correct.
Yeah, good. Okay, well, on to the next thing then.
Ours right now is about 20 days in the market. 20 to 25 days in the market.
I don't think in the last couple of years it's seasonal anymore. I think the winter is just as steady as the spring is. I mean, you're going to see more homes in the spring and summer, more inventory, but the buyers are still going to be there year round until they find something.
Because the number's low.
Yeah, we really used to see it drop off tremendously between like Thanksgiving and Christmas, where I would be like, "Whoa," and Matt was like, "This happens every year.
Between
Stop."
Thanksgiving and after the Super Bowl.
Well,
Right.
buyers tend to come out before sellers, and so there's always like this weird
Which is what
limbo.
we're seeing now.
Yeah,
A bunch of
where
buyers
it's like
coming
the
out.
buyers are like, "Oh, it's a new year. I'm buying a house.
Yeah.
Rates are going up," and the sellers are like, "I'm waiting for the
not nice
grass
enough
to look
yet."
good and
Yep.
my flowers and." Don't wait.
It's the biggest. It's
Yeah.
the biggest reason to sell now. There is
That's
no
for sure.
inventory. Get your money.
No competition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before the rates go up again too.
Yeah, because you're going to get more money if you can
Mhm.
hit it before the Fed does their thing again and again.
Yep.
All of the things. But, I mean, altogether, days on the market are good for sellers. Very good.
Right
So,
now.
yeah.
What do you think it is average? 8 to 10 days on the market for a hot property? Not even.
Boy,
3.
around here, I'm thinking 5, 6.
Well, the definition that Jacob gave is actually 20 to 25 is what it is.
Ain't no way it's that high.
But that's not accepted offer.
That's an accepted offer plus appraisal and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
You're asking
Yeah.
about the time between
Yeah.
active and accepted
AO,
offer.
yeah.
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 Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's way
more
shorter.
like 5,
If
Yeah.
that.
6.
And the interesting thing in our MLS, when you are you put a listing in delayed, the days on the market don't start until it goes into active. So it could be being marketed ahead of time.
Sure.
Oh.
And then the actual days on the market will start. So,
Or you're going to have people that have single party listings like we've done in the past.
lots of those happening
So those
now.
don't even
Right.
hit the market, and that's a 0 days on the market.
Right.
So it messes things up. And then you have properties like we have a listing where the seller won't allow it to be shown through the winter. So it looks like it's been on forever and ever and ever, but it hasn't been shown in 6 months. So then, but the days in the market seem very high. So
That Beaver Dam.
Yep.
yeah, but I mean, so there's all different situations that affect it.
So at this point, the only way to make days on the market lower is really just finding a way to close the gap between accepted offer and closing, right? Like that's the biggest
Yeah.
chunk of it.
Yeah. And you remember, you're going to have the time between accepted offer and closing. You're going to have the financing, typically the appraisal. So you're going to
Right.
have,
So if
that's
we
going to be
can-
a pretty steady, 20 to 30 is probably going to be what it's going to be as an average.
Yeah, it's like if we could get the appraisal process to be smoother,
Aren't we supposed
quicker?
to be doing that?
that's what's supposed to be happening. But who knows if that's going to happen. But if that could get streamlined,
That would be awesome.
that would be really awesome.
So the numbers that we see probably won't change. It'll be that 20 to 30 days on the market
Mm-hmm.
because you still have to deal with financing sometimes.
But if people could, like we were talking with Yurga, that she was getting people pre-underwritten and having loan commitments, if they can come in with a loan commitment and have a new appraisal system where potentially it's waived or it's much faster and streamlined, then it could get lower.
Sure.
A girl can dream, Matt.
As long as there's nobody in front of you
Yeah.
as far as having to sell.
Yeah. So there's always things.
All the things.
All of the things. So let's switch topics over to either our scariest appointment or showing that we've been on or some kind of, haunted experience we've had with real estate. Anybody have any that you want to start with or share?
I got one.
All right. Hit it, Bill.
So I have not been on any scary showings that I've been afraid of my life, but
That's good.
I
Bonus.
did grow up in a haunted house.
No.
I did 100% grew up in a haunted house. So anyway,
Explains a lot.
so I lived there till I was like 14, and my mom lived there when she was a kid. So we owned that house for probably 50 some
So it was
years.
haunted by like your relatives.
Well, no, because so like 3 people died in a fire there before my family bought it, and then my grandpa died there as well. So there was like 4 deaths in that house, and I can remember in that house. Yeah, it was a duplex, so we were on the top side of it, and like all the time you could hear like footsteps up in the attic, and our TV would turn on once in a while. And then when I was a kid, I'd be laying in bed and like I'd hear stuff in the closet, and then my door would slam shut. And so then I'd get really scared, and then this is the last time I ever did it. I put the sheets over my head because I was scared, and then something tapped. I got 3 taps right on my forehead. And I mean, it still gives me goosebumps today. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't even close to going to bed yet. I was just kind of sitting in my room, and then the stuff in the corner. And then I turned the lights off, and then I put the sheets over my head like it was going to go away. And then he just tapped me on the forehead.
Wow.
And then another time, my mom was a kid, and she was laying in bed, and the door opened, and she heard footsteps coming in, and somebody sat down on the bed. She can feel the imprint sitting down on the bed, and she thought it was my grandma coming in to check on her, and she pretended to sleep, and she turned to look at grandma because she wasn't talking, and nobody was there, and there was an indent in the bed where that
Those
person
going
was
to come
sitting.
back on during
Wow.
Halloween.
And I got one more.
There's more?
I got one more. So my cousin Aaron, he was in the reserve, and he had something in Madison that weekend, and he was staying in the lower unit where my grandparents were living, and he was about to go to bed on the couch, looking into the kitchen, and he wasn't even close to sleeping, and he's an Army guy, and he saw 2 old people just dancing in the kitchen. And then they realized he was watching them, and they looked at him, and then they walked into my grandpa's room.
Wow.
So yeah, we have a lot of stories about that house. That's just a few of them.
Probably shouldn't disclose the
Hey.
address.
That's
crazy.
interesting.
It's crazy. So it's scary.
Yeah.
That's my
But
scary
it's Madison
story.
property.
It was Windsor.
No,
It's-
don't have to tell the address.
oh, I went it was in Windsor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Very
But happy ghosts.
scary looking. I don't know.
Doot,
Maybe
doot,
not.
doot. Maybe not.
They're just like, hey,
Just making sure you're
let's
awake.
play.
Yeah. It was fun. I mean, it was, and we had snakes. I mean, you don't ever see snakes in like a residential
Inside?
But
No.
they're
Oh.
just coming up from the pits of hell. They are.
I mean, I'm telling you what, I'd come home from school and we had like this big old snake hole and they'd be all wrapped up.
A snake
So-
hole?
Yeah.
It's
And there'd
called
be
a
like
nest.
6, 8 of them wrapped up around each
Called
other,
snake hole.
sunning
Snake
up in
nest.
sunning themselves. And I'd go take a 9-iron over there and just
Jeez.
start whack them. And they'd be running all over the place. Yeah, it was a terrible
It's a
house.
whole lot of happiness.
Wow.
I lost a ball in the bushes and I went in to get it and there was this big old garter snake just like staring right at me. I was like, oh my God. So I am deathly afraid of snakes now. Like if you have the littlest snake around, I'm like screaming like a girl and running the other way.
Mental note.
I love snakes. I've never seen that many at once, but I think they're awesome.
Yeah, it's terrible. Anyway, that's my story.
See, this is why I'm building a house. No death in there.
Yeah.
Totally clean.
Could be on a burial
I'm like,
ground.
how's that land underneath it?
I investigated. It's fine.
Clear.
Yeah,
Clear.
How about snakes? Are the snakes done?
I hope so. I like snakes.
The
I want
biggest
to
one-
find a ball of snakes. That'd be sweet.
We were looking at a house on the north side, and we came walking out, and just saw the tail end of it, like the last foot of it. It was probably, this big round. I'm like, what is that? We're not buying this house.
No.
You would have lost it, Bill.
I went in a rental property a few weeks ago and 2 great big fish tanks on the floor. And one had this
Python.
red, black striped, looks like a coral snake in it, big. And then the other one had like I think it's a corn snake, big, fat, yellow snake. And I'm
Oh,
going,
that's probably
oh
a little mini boa or like a mini python.
something.
We had a tenant that
Corn snakes are black.
we had a tenant
Oh.
in Madison that we rented to, and his job or what he did was they took snakes around to different schools. Well, he usually kept them in the basement under a lot of heat and stuff, and
It was
we sh-
always 75
Yeah.
plus in his house.
So I'm showing the house to some prospective tenants, and we went in the bedroom, and the bed's kind of disheveled, and didn't think anything of it, maybe just to make it better. He came back. He came back before I left, and he
Okay.
flipped the sheet over. Huge python. He's like, "Do you
Underneath
want to
the
hold it?
sheets.
Do you want to hold it?" I'm like, "No, I have not touched it."
He was a really, really nice man, but
I
holy
didn't
cow,
picture
he
it.
kept
I
it
can't.
wildly warm, and
the
there was
snakes.
always a bajillion
Yeah.
snakes. Yeah.
Bill, you good?
No, I hate
Pass out.
talking about snakes. So
Wow.
visualizing them even just scares the crap out of me.
Apparently,
Yeah.
there was something with the sheet, like the color of it or something that
Oh, well, the sheet was just white, and it calmed it down or
something
something.
calmed it down.
He said that it was calmed down when the thing was over it. So we're like, okay, could you put it back over it?
Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Diane, how are you for ever having a scary showing or any fun experiences like that?
It wasn't really scary. It probably wasn't really smart to do, but I had been with this buyer several showings before, so I trusted him, and we went in the house, and all electricity was turned off of the house. So, and it was starting to get dark, and we're like, should we go see it? Turn on our flashlights on our phones? So we did. So we walked through, and I mean, you couldn't see anything by the time we were done. Down in the basement, so I'm thinking, this probably isn't very smart. But
probably snakes down there.
no, but it was fine, and but that was weird
That's weird.
to walk through a totally dark house. Nothing else really too weird except having to go down and how you've got the basements where you pull up the door outside to go down in. And I'm looking, and there's cobwebs and stuff all over, no light. And I'm doing a virtual, and I'm like, do you want me to go down there?
Of course they do.
Yes. I'm like, okay.
It's
And I don't like spiders. So I'm going,
spiders.
I went down, and I turned on my little flashlight and showed them. But that's about it.
I had an experience like that. It was a house over on the north side, and in the bathroom, you pulled up the trap door to go down there, and there was something happening that I needed to go flick something on the electricity, and it was like emergent that it had to be done. And so I went down there. All I had was my flashlight, and it was like cobwebs. It was like I was walking through
yuck.
cobwebs all the way over there with this little, way old flashlight. I flicked the thing and ran back.
Then wipe your hair so
Oh, yeah.
there's nothing on you.
Oh, it was all over me.
Ew.
But yeah, that
Oh my
makes me think
gosh.
of that.
Yeah.
Just totally being in the dark and being like, it has to be down here somewhere. Where is the electrical box?
Wow.
Ugh. Yeah.
What's your scary story?
I guess I probably have a lot, but the first one that came to my mind was when we went to a house that was like a pre-foreclosure house, and it wasn't, we didn't know if anyone was living there or what was going on. And Matt and I pulled up into the driveway, and on the garage, someone had done a bunch of graffiti. So that's a bad sign, right? And so I went up and I rang the doorbell to see if anybody was answering, and nobody was answering. So nobody was home, but part of what you have to do is you have to walk around the whole property to like assess what's going on. Matt, who's super brave, sent me because I
Pulled
had
the truck close.
yeah, because there was snow. I mean, it
Somebody
was
had to drive the getaway car.
Yes, he was driving the getaway car. I had really tall boots on,
I did not.
so he did not have tall boots on. So I went to go walk through all of this snow around this property that had all of this graffiti on it, get around to the back, and I start hearing what sounds like water, and I'm seeing these things that look like icebergs coming out of the back, and then I see there's a window broken. Oh, that's not great. So, of course, I sort of peek in, and I realize that the pipes have burst, and it's just a complete mess in there. And you don't want to go in there because the electricity, I mean, you get fried if the electric's on.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, that's not good. I took video of it to have proof, but then I walked the rest of the way around the property, and there was more windows broken, and you could tell that people had been breaking in and had been staying there and just sort of squatting there.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, woo, I'm out of here.
Right?
But we had to call the police because we had to have somebody come out there and make sure that the utilities were turned off and everything was taken care of.
Yikes.
But yeah,
Yeah.
knowing
How long ago was this?
2 years, 3
Oh.
years.
2-3 years ago.
Not that long.
Yeah, it
I
was.
remember it. Didn't Mike have it listed or something?
No, that was
No.
a different one.
Oh, that was.
Yeah, this is. I mean, we've come across lots of properties that have had their pipes burst, but this one, there was definitely people that were breaking and entering and graffiti, and yeah, it was just. Whew. What about you, Mr. Matt?
Oh, mine's a good one.
Uh-oh. Hold on.
It's not scary. Well, kind
Oh.
of. It's not like that kind of scary.
Is it like?
That's funny.
So I was showing houses to a client. It's been a long time ago. But it was a residential above and commercial below. So we decided to check up the residential. So we went out the outside stairs, went up, opened the door, and it was a Doberman. Came running right at me and stopped right in front of me, just growling and barking. And my client shut the door behind me, so I was stuck inside the place with this dog barking at me.
Oh boy.
And I just, because we had an appointment scheduled, so I'm just yelling, "Hey, anybody here? Anybody here?" The guy came out of the back, half asleep, didn't realize we had a showing, and called the dog back, and he was fine. But that dog was scary running at me.
Oh
though.
boy.
That is scary.
Woofed.
Mm-hmm. All of the fun things, right?
Jacob, do you got anything?
Well, I'm not an agent, so I haven't been in as many haunted houses.
Okay.
The only one I can think of is that there used to be this house by my old apartment, and it was like hundreds of years old, and it was like a historical building, so the city couldn't just take it down. They were trying to like sell it and like move the property to somewhere else, and they couldn't. And now they're building a grocery store there, so that one, by the roundabout, right by the highway there, like right down the road. Yeah, so that house was creepy. So right before they tore it down, we went and kind of peeked inside.
Toured.
It was scary. I'm pretty sure there was a ghost in there, but I didn't get close enough. But Anna saw one in there. But there was definitely like a crib, and there was like this weird stuff on the wall, and it was like it's very freaky.
We were driving out to my parents' house a few years ago, and we passed. There's a cemetery on the way into Deerfield, and I made some smart ass comment to Jen, like how many people are buried there, and all of them.
Yeah.
And
Except that guy.
as soon as I said it, the radio shut off.
Whoa.
They had I'd never had any problem after
Really?
that or before. They just shut off for like 5 minutes. I'm like,
Okay, they didn't like my joke.
they didn't like, wow.
Not funny.
We're not all dead.
No, they were not all dead. Yeah, radio shut off. And
Oh,
about
wow.
a mile or two down the road, turned back on.
Wow.
I had an alien encounter once. I don't know if that counts.
Oh yeah, that's
All right.
that's super cool.
All right,
Yeah.
talk.
E.T. Alien.
Yeah,
Anal
I was
probe.
probably like 9 years old, and I was running
I don't
through.
think that's gonna make the show.
I missed it. A probe? I didn't get probed. No. You can check. It's clean.
Oh no!
Nope. Trust
No,
me.
I was walking. I was
Just check. It's clean.
Off the rails. Off the rails.
Anyway, back to the alien probe.
I didn't
Non-probe.
get probed. Okay. I just found their eggs.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I found their alien eggs. I was going through a cornfield, and we found these growths on the stalks of corn. They're like these purple giant things.
Yeah, it's mold.
No,
Yeah.
it's alien eggs.
No,
I was
because I grew up in the
So
country.
Yeah, exactly.
9 years old.
Yeah.
It
He's
was.
on an eggplant farm.
It's weird how the eggplants were grown on the corn stalks.
Yeah. It was alien eggs. So we took some, and then we started messing with it. And then the house, the electricity in the house started like going on and off. And then the phone line cut out, and we're like, we're gonna die. We messed with the alien eggs. So
All these poor kids that grew up in the city, like me.
Yeah. Jen, be like, oh, aliens.
I'm like, purple, that seems totally legit.
That's awesome.
So that's what mold looks like on corn,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, it's kind of bubbly.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
ugly.
no, pretty sure.
Pretty sure that's wrong.
Pretty sure.
That's wrong because the alien makes more sense.
Yeah.
And I did not get probed.
Yeah, that's what your.
That's what
See,
gave it
if you-
away.
Farmer friends told you.
If you would have been probed, then it would have been alien eggs.
That's the only way to know if it's an alien. If you get probed.
You'll remember it.
And it made your story better, though.
So this one time I was getting probed.
So one time running through the cornfield, I got probed.
That was crazy.
This is not making the show.
Oh gosh, it's all on the show. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't edit.
Oh, really?
No.
Bill's like, oh no, this is not good.
Oops.
Yeah, that's good.
Do we want to talk about our review or no? I don't know if it's kosher.
Review?
Or the response we got from a client
Hopefully.
I don't know which
that
one you're
prompted
talking about.
us talking about scary houses.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know if we want to, but yeah. I mean,
That's the best.
Yeah.
Probably not.
yeah, no, I mean just randomly. I mean, people having a conversation that's kind of like, "Hey, hope everything is great." P.S. You know, my house may have a ghost that threw a
Throws
knife
knives
at
and
me and
sickles.
tried to sickle me, but everything else is good. Have a great day.
Oh my
Casual.
Yeah.
Was that yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday, and then, or I think it came in on Valentine's Day, but apparently it messes with the electricity and opens up doors, unlocks doors, and stuff like that.
So
But yeah, it was just very casual.
Oddly enough, it's in Windsor.
No, it's not.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, I know when you said Windsor, I had an experience at one, but I think that wasn't Windsor, was it?
No, so
It
Town
was
of Sun
Bristol.
Prairie, yeah.
It was like Townsend Prairie, Bristol. But yeah, so there's a whole lot of something. But-
So I've been saying for a while we need to all watch Open House movie. It'd be a great one for
Oh, yeah.
our team to watch.
I haven't
Open
watched that
house.
yet.
It's a scary movie.
Oh, I don't like scary.
Oh, definitely watching.
We're gonna
You
watch
never-
snakes on
You
the
never
plane
know
with
who
Bill.
might just stay.
I would not watch Snake on a Plane. I mean, my daughter, she'll like put up a picture of a video of a snake, and then she'll just show me, and she just laugh. She's like, it's so funny. I was screaming all
Things got more exciting at Home Team for You office.
Yeah, I know. That's funny. My mind went there too. I was like, I wish you had a desk.
Now I know I'm not getting.
But now we know.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's like, oh, what's under your chair, Bill?
What color's your car?
It's unknown. It's unknown.
Noted.
All right. So
Don't.
you'll be good. It'll be
My
safe.
BP's high enough.
Yeah, all good. All right. So in the media, they're talking a lot about that all of this demand is coming in the market is coming from millennials. So some of the reasons that they're saying this happened, let's go through them and see if we agree. So they're saying the historically low interest rates.
Makes sense.
Agreed.
Check.
We concur with that. That was doing it. And then it says, this is kind of crazy, 90% of millennials would buy a house sight unseen, 10% increase. 2000.
90%.
90%?
I
I
think
disagree
that's
with that.
high.
No.
That's
Yeah.
what it says. It says additional reports finding 90% of millennials would buy a house sight unseen.
This is just a survey. This is an actuality.
Oh,
If it's $1 million house for $10, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking they're
So,
talking
I've had a
Silicon
couple.
Valley.
I have had a couple. I mean, I've done virtual tours with them, but they bought.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we have
It's
one
crazy.
in 6 millennials would be willing to offer $100,000 or more above the asking price for their dream home.
Princess Jen would.
Princess
Again.
Jen would. Yes, she would.
That's the thing. That's the problem with surveys. Survey can say anything. It doesn't mean that you're actually
Right.
going to do it.
I disagree with those numbers.
I mean, that one is a little bit more plausible because as a millennial, I can say money means nothing and I have
Right.
no concept of it. So what's 1 or 2 or 300,000? I don't
couple
know.
it's a couple Bitcoin.
I just want a house. Yeah. Well, I'm selling my Bitcoin.
What?
Yep.
You have one?
News alert.
Yeah. Selling them.
Them? You have more than one?
No. I'm selling all of my Bitcoin
Good for you.
For your house?
for my house.
Nice.
Yeah. But as soon as that happens, I'm buying again. But
My wife's
I'm not
I was
gonna-
so excited for you to sell it, and then you told me to buy more.
my wife's
gonna
first
buy
cousin, big
forever.
nerd. He used to mine.
Nerd.
He used to mine Bitcoin back in the day when it was just like something to do. And he's got a flash drive with 4 Bitcoins on it, and he lost it. He doesn't know where it is. And so when it was like 60 grand, he's like, I got 240 grand floating around somewhere. I have no idea where it is.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
That's
wow.
just not okay.
That sucks.
Oh.
That's right. It's not real anyway.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would
I'm
suck.
going to be walking in my real house that I paid for with real Bitcoin. So
There you go.
whatever
That's
you say.
good.
That's awesome.
All right. So our next stat, it says, so nearly half of millennials, 46%, expect to max out their budgets when buying a home, with 1/3 planning to purchase a home that costs more than the median U.S. home price.
I believe that.
Check.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Most millennials, 82%, are more likely than boomers, 62%, to purchase a fixer-upper, but 1
yeah.
in 4 regrets doing so.
I believe
can
it.
see
I
that.
believe that.
They think it's a good idea and concept, but don't have the ability to actually do
Don't,
the work.
yeah.
Right.
In real life, it sucks.
Mhm.
All right. 82% of millennials have more than $10,000 in savings, a 25% increase from last year.
Sure.
Sure.
And it says, but 1/3 plan to put down less than 20% on their homes.
I believe
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
Just 1/3?
Cash is king.
Mm-hmm.
Keep
Yeah.
your cash.
Yeah. 92% of millennials have some debt. Of
Oh, yeah.
those, 70% have more than $10,000 in debt, and 1 in 3 owe more than $50,000.
believe
1 in
that.
3.
Yeah.
I believe
Yeah.
School loans and
School
stuff.
costs a lot. Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
believe
Not a surprise at all.
Yeah. So, as millennials spend less time at home, they want smaller homes, 1,700 square feet on the average, compared to 2,400 square feet a year ago.
They don't have
Yeah.
kids yet.
I'm getting a 1,700 square foot house.
Once
Yeah, yeah,
well,
yeah.
once the millennials have kids, they'll want more finished square footage. They'll
Well, then he
finish the
can
basement.
finish his basement. Yep. So more than half, 51% of all respondents feel stressed or anxious about homeownership, with more than 40% fearing a potential housing market crash.
I'm stressed just listening
I
to
hear
this.
that all the time. It's
I do
like,
too.
when's it going to crash?
Right.
Yeah.
We should wait. We should
No,
wait.
no.
No.
And then nearly 1/3 of millennials, 31%, plan to live in their homes for less than 5 years.
Believe it.
Yeah.
I don't know about
The
5. I'd
average,
say like
the
7,
average is 6 or
five.
7,
Yeah.
but
I guess it depends on
millennials,
interest rates.
Yeah.
they change locations with their jobs. They can go anywhere where they want because a lot of them are working on,
Virtual.
online, virtual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've never lived in a place as an adult for more than 2.5 years.
Wow.
No, we're not millennials. I'm like, we don't count. We don't move. Yeah, but then the takeaway was more that millennials have a different approach to buying than their parents, and are willing to try things, be more risky.
I believe that. I believe
Well,
that.
it's young versus older too. I mean, it's kind of
Yeah.
the way it is.
Buying sight unseen,
Mm.
having to figure out what to do with all their school debt. So interesting,
Very. I gotta leave.
All right. Well, let's wrap this thing up.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Okay.
Wrap it up.
All right, that was an abrupt ending, but Bill's got kids.
I do.
Hey, if
And he
you're
has square
looking to
footage.
buy or sell real estate in South Central
Central Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, go to www.hometeam, the letter 4, the number U.
Oh my God. Let's start over. Go to hometeam4letteru.com.
Thanks. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was an abrupt.
If you like content like this, consider watching some of these other videos, hitting the subscribe button. If you want to know what your house is currently worth, go to hometeamforyou.com and look at the free evaluation tool.